Okay, you want to just introduce yourself real fast?
Hey, my name is Margo, Laurent, Trezevant, and I used to live here in Adams Morgan. The love of my life, David, actually was born here in Adams Morgan in 1967. So he's seen Adams Morgan be what it is now. What really pisses me off is the fact that the plaza has been shut down to put a condo pretty much like that one, which would really, really screw up the whole feeling of Adams Morgan.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to the people, it's not fair to their kids, it's not fair to anybody really, because if you're coming from AU and take the bus down and you don't see that plaza, then you think you're not, because I have friends who did that and they're like, well, where's the plaza? And I said, well, it's shut down. And they were very pissed off. And I said, yeah, I know, I am too. So anyways, I just wish they would put something like this over there, which would absolutely destroy the first site of Adams Morgan.
Yeah.
So yeah, that really pisses me off. But I love the music here. The food is awesome. The people are great. But again, I mean, it's taking a lot of life out of Adams Morgan, pretty much, and history out of Adams Morgan. So it's just unfair to the people. For the people that have the money to, like, well, fuck it, we have the money, we'll do whatever we want to do. And I'm like, that's not what this neighborhood is about at all. So yes, it pisses me off, and yes, it's horrible.
Yeah.
So, and like, my daughter was in pre-K and Murray Reed, and she loves coming up here and just, dance or play basketball or whatever. We'll go down, like he said, down at the park and Malcolm X Park. I mean, not Pierce Park, and just be. Because this is a neighborhood with people that need to have a space to just breathe after work. You know what I mean? Excuse me. So yes, this is something that I really do not like about the fact that this neighborhood is not committed to putting the people first instead of building and making money off of people, pretty much. So yeah, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
And yes, and we have a lot of crime, especially right here, which we should not have a lot of crime right here. And yeah, it just pisses me off. And I used to love this neighborhood. I used to live down on 19th at the Gilmore Towers. Used to come out, go get my coffee, and then 2 hours later go down and have some lunch, and then later have some drinks at Adams Morgan, or I used to this is where I met my boyfriend. We've been together for 12 years now. I used to love to go to jazz. I love jazz. I used to go down to Columbia Station, and he used to go to Town Tavern. So it was right there, and that's how we met. And now it seems like everything isn't opening the same time that you used to, and people are changing, and there's a lot of negativity. When before it used to be so much nicer, and everybody knew each other and would, say, hey, how are you doing? Have conversations, have coffee, have a drink, get dinner, whatever. It just feels like you can't even do that anymore in this neighborhood. So yeah. And the streets, it just pisses me off too. The fact that here today on Adams Morgan Day, 18th Street is not blocked off.
Yeah.
And there's no vendors. There's no music. There's no nothing. We used to actually volunteer here about 10 years ago, where everything was amazing. Like, you had vendors all over the streets, and the kids were happy because they had a whole community for them at the school, and just everybody was happy, and now it just feels like nobody's happy because there's nothing there for them that they're trying to get out of Adams Morgan Day.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say. And it makes me sad, but anyway, it does.
Yeah. What kind of spaces? So you were talking about the park, right?
Yes.
What kind of spaces are you like hoping, like that park, to kind of be around to create that sense of community you were talking about that has kind of gone away?
Well, the plaza right there,
Yeah.
that's number one, because the kids love it, because we all painted it
Yeah.
for the kids, and they love to, jump over all the, and see you, babe, and no problem. And I love Malcolm X because it's awesome. I did a lot of photo shoots with my daughter and my boyfriend, and I love that park. But from here, Walter Pierce Park is awesome. I'm not a big fan of that park down on Columbia Road. It's just because I've seen a lot of different things happen where I'm like, I don't like what's happening there, and I don't want my daughter to be there, and so on. So, yeah. But other than that, we just need to refigure out, especially after COVID, we need to refigure out spaces for kids, for families, to just be at peace no matter what.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then I guess kind of what spaces like previously were spaces that you kind of saw as like the spaces of Adams Morgan, like they made you feel like you were.
That one.
Yeah.
And then the park, and especially the basketball when you go down basketball.
Yeah.
And I love playing tennis. When my daughter was at school, I would go play tennis with a few friends, and yeah. So we just need to keep things in check and revitalize, or make sure that one does not become that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can say. I'm sorry, that's all I can say.
Okay. I guess, yeah, we can do kind of the broad questions. So our whole display was called Who's Adams Morgan? So I guess what is Adams Morgan to you? What about it is
Well,
or
it's
was
two guys.
something?
It's two guys that knew each other, and
Yeah.
like they came here and they said, "Well, we're gonna make this our neighborhood for kids to play safely, not as astronomically insane," which when I lived here it was. But anyways, that's off the docket. But and just be happy and let people be happy, and not you have to buy a coffee from Starbucks for $5.75 for a little piece of nothing and be like, oh yeah, I'm not happy now. So I'm sorry, it's just all this stuff in it.
Yeah, it's really stuck out.
But yeah, that's about all. And I love the music here. I miss listening to music on Adams Morgan Day. Like that's the one day where you can have bands. We used to have one up here, one down there. I used to volunteer. It was fun, and the food was amazing, and the people were happy. And now it's just like one here, two down there, and that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still love Adams Morgan, but it's changed a lot. I'm sorry, joking. Please do. But so yeah, that's about it. And what's your name?
I'm Corinne.
Corinne. Margo.
Nice to meet you.
And and this, I'm sorry to say, it's the most atrocious thing I've ever seen in my life.
How do you mean? Like, explain that.
Douchebags, assholes, piece of craps. You walk in, you don't even know where the front desk is. You don't even know who's working there because they don't have uniforms on.
Yeah.
No, sorry, but that's just the way I feel, and yeah. So that's it. That's all I can say.
And do you want to ask any questions?
What one thing have you done that you really had big fun here in Adams Morgan? One event, one something.
Do I have to choose one?
That you remember no matter what.
Okay, I met my boyfriend. And then getting my daughter into that school. Living at the Carlisle Suites Hotel down on New Hampshire Avenue because he was a resident manager. So those three are probably the best that I can think of. And just having to, just having fun on Amazon Working Day and just volunteering, meeting new people, help around. Being up at 4 o'clock in the morning till midnight, and I was like, hey, this is the best thing I've ever done in my life, and it was just so much fun, and yeah, just meeting new people, and yeah, that's about it.
And what makes you so happy? Is it this area, or?
I just love, because I know a lot of people that live here, and I grew up pretty much with them here. So now that we moved to Southeast, I don't know anybody in my neighborhood, which is okay because I can sleep at night. Because I could not sleep at the Gilmar Towers. That was like, no. Literally take a sheet of paper, white paper, and slice it in half, and that was still not thin enough for. So, and it was always infestations all the time, and we were paying like $2,500 for half a room. I mean, it was just insane. So no.
They're still plaster. They don't have any insulation in the wall.
They don't. And the windows are like literally, again, you slice them in a piece of sheet of paper in half if you can, and that's not even close to what it was. So I miss living here, of course, but I'm happy where I am now. That's about it. Anything else, babe? No? That's it? End of story.
Anything else you want to say, shout out about Adams Morgan?
I hate the Line Hotel. That's it. End of story.
Oh.